Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me because we're about to completely shatter everything you thought you knew about rest, recovery, and what it actually takes to be a top-tier performer. Look, we aren't talking about basic wellness today. We are analyzing the ultimate biological system architecture required for elite corporate and personal performance. I want you to think of your brain not as a muscle, but as literally the most sophisticated central processing unit on the planet. And today, well, we're going to learn how to master its operating system. Okay, let's just jump right in and bust a massive hustle culture myth. You know the one, that deeply flawed idea that maximizing your waking hours automatically equals maximizing your output. Honestly, it's a total operational fallacy. If you are sleeping less than 7 hours, you are not outworking your competition. You're literally operating at half of your cognitive capacity. Treating your biological system like it's this infinitely scalable resource completely violates the basic laws of system architecture.
So, to fix this, here is our ultimate diagnostic menu for the day. First up, we'll examine the thermal-throttling paradox. Then, we'll dive into nightly cache clearance, followed by Alpha-Theta root access. After that, we're going to break down the 90-minute math of sleep, and finally, we'll establish your daily reboot routine.
Starting right off with Section 1, the thermal-throttling paradox. Think about your computer for a second. What happens when a complex system is subjected to continuous, heavy loads without any scheduled downtime? When a computer CPU is pushed to the absolute limit without cooling, the hardware engages something called thermal throttling. It deliberately slows itself down to prevent a catastrophic physical failure. Well, sleep deprivation is the exact biological equivalent of this. When you're pushed to remain online without proper downtime, your neurological hardware forcefully reduces its processing clock speed by half. Sure, you might technically be logged in and sitting at your desk, but you're suffering massive latency in your decision-making. Your ability to forecast strategy, regulate your emotions, solve complex problems, it's all severely degraded. You're surviving, but you're compounding a loss of value every single day your core system remains throttled.
Moving right along to Section 2, nightly cache clearance.
Listen, we've got to stop thinking about rest as just passive inactivity. We need to reframe it as a highly active clinical sequence. Every calculation, every high-stress email, every complex strategic decision you make during a 16-hour operational window generates a chemical reaction, and that leaves behind toxic metabolic debris in your neural pathways. Enter the glymphatic system. This is your brain's highly active nightly fluid drainage sequence. It's basically a wave of blue coolant, physically flushing the logic boards of your brain clean. It is absolutely vital maintenance that removes the chemical byproducts of a hard day's work.
So, what actually happens if you skip or shorten this cache clearing sequence? Well, your hardware tries to run the next day using recycled, corrupted, temporary data files from a clogged memory cache. Your mind and body literally become locked in a redundant feedback loop. You end up memorizing the stress and fatigue, transforming it from a temporary action into a permanent, hard-coded habit. You might be under the illusion that you're tackling a brand new day, but secretly, your system is running on corrupted data from the past.
It really boils down to this clinical reality. In simple terms, your brain is trying to clean itself every night, and you're interrupting it. As an executive or a high performer, you are actively sabotaging your own mental hardware by cutting this process short. It's crazy when you think about it.
All right, Section 3, Alpha-Theta root access.
You know, by the time you reach career maturity, 95% of your operating system is just automated background programming. It's your memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, and habits. Only 5% is your conscious analytical mind. Let's walk through exactly how this works. Most of us spend our days stuck in the beta state, high stress, active threat assessment, problem solving. But trying to upgrade your output or change bad habits while you're in beta, that is a massive misallocation of resources. You're pitting your 5% conscious mind against 95% hard-coded memory. It's a losing battle. To get true system optimization, you have to get root access. And root access is strictly denied in beta. You must drop your brainwave frequency down into the relaxed alpha state and then the deep sleep theta state. It's only in these low-frequency states that your brain begins to forge new neurological connections, literally wiring together the new knowledge you acquired that day.
And honestly, this is exactly why we all experience that incredible frustration where you know what to do, but keep repeating the same patterns. It's because you physically cannot install new strategic frameworks or override faulty habits without accessing the root directory. And you only get that access when you transition properly into alpha and beta states through deep rest.
Next up, Section 4, the 90-minute processing cycle.
Okay, we really need to stop treating sleep like it's just this random chunk of time and start treating it as a precise mathematical equation. Human rest architecture is governed by strict 90-minute operational blocks. You start at 0 with light data sorting. By minute 45, you are deep in the trough, executing that vital glymphatic cache clearance we just talked about. And then, as you approach the 90-minute mark, your system peaks back up into the Alpha-Theta programming phase, or REM sleep, where the data integration happens. A standard, elite, high-performance sequence demands exactly 5 of these complete diagnostic protocols, and 5 multiplied by 90 minutes equates perfectly to 7.5 hours of offline time.
And this brings us to a massive, catastrophic error that almost all of us make: the external alarm override. Waking up in the middle of a 90-minute cycle is literally a system crash. It causes severe sleep inertia. It is the exact biological equivalent of forcing your laptop to reboot right in the middle of a vital system update. The hardware eventually powers on, sure, but the sequence is totally fragmented. You experience massive latency, sluggish processing, and a severe drop in your baseline clock speed for the entire rest of the day.
So if you wake up exhausted even after 6 or 7 hours, it is not random. It's a broken cycle. Elite operators must reverse engineer their morning boot sequence. You don't just arbitrarily set an alarm for when you want to wake up. You have to align your wake time perfectly with the completion of a 90-minute block so your system comes online fully updated and free of residual data fragmentation.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, the daily reboot routine. So how do we actually pull this off and secure absolute operational supremacy? You do it through a clinical 3-2-1 countdown. You cannot force a system shutdown from maximum thermal capacity. You have to systematically sever external inputs. 3 hours before sleep, terminate heavy resource ingestion, like food and alcohol. Your system needs energy for cache clearing, not digestion. 2 hours before, terminate high-stress cognitive processing, so no more operational problem solving. And 1 hour before, enact a total digital disconnect. No screens, no phones. You must ruthlessly eliminate those artificial screen inputs.
I really want to highlight something that sounds crazy, but it's totally true: the incredible tactical advantage of complete boredom. Sitting offline and unplugged isn't wasted time. It is an active cooling protocol for your cognitive CPU. The modern environment absolutely bombards your sensory inputs. Using digital distractions during that final hour only interrupts the natural cooling pattern. It forces your brain to remain equal to a highly stimulating environment, keeping the hardware wired in that high-stress beta state.
If you take nothing else away from our explainer today, please let it be this: the sleep blueprint is not some luxury wellness metric. It is your fundamental system architecture. It is a ruthless competitive advantage. To ignore this is to accept permanent thermal throttling in your career and your life. Because the person who sleeps properly isn't just recovering from the day before, they are physically rewiring their hardware to be faster, sharper, and more adaptable for tomorrow. They are upgrading.
So, I'm going to leave you with one big, provocative question. Are you operating on corrupted data? Are you letting your biological system run on clogged caches, broken cycles, and thermal overload? It's time to stop just surviving and start optimizing. Execute that reboot routine tonight, authorize that cache clearance, and achieve absolute operational supremacy. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to dive into our next breakdown with you.